Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts making a big announcement today. He wants to continue his political career, so he is throwing his hat in the ring for the U.S. Senate seat that will be vacated by Ben Sasse early next year. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on First at 3. I'm Dave Zavolinski. The political fire continues to burn for Pete Ricketts. The two-term governor says he will apply to become Nebraska's next senator. Now, technically, Ricketts does have the authority to appoint himself to the position, but he has said he will let Governor-elect Jim Pillen make the appointment for whomever after he takes office in early January. Earlier today, Ricketts spoke about why he wants the job.
I love this state, and I'd love to look for additional ways to be able to help the people of Nebraska, and this may be one of those opportunities.
All right, on the other side of the aisle, some people, like Nebraska Democratic Party Chair Jane Klebb, are criticizing him, saying, quote, Governor Ricketts bought this U.S. Senate seat. He tried to win against Senator Ben Nelson with his parents' money back in 2006, and the voters rejected him 2-1. Now, in the state's most obvious pay-to-play case, Ricketts will be able to call himself a senator. Nothing is set in stone yet. Governor-elect Jim Pillen, like I said, will be the one officially taking applications for Senator Ben Sasse's Senate seat. Sasse submitted his resignation officially just yesterday. It'll all go into effect on January 8th, paving the way for Sasse to take over his new role as the president of the University of Florida. Applications for the Senate seat are due by Friday, December 23rd. In his resignation letter, the governor, Sasse said he's confident Pillen will appoint someone who will serve Nebraska well in Washington.